Hey guys, I'm hoping I'm on. Hello. The computer. I'm starting to think when I schedule a live with Facebook that it's not going to work. So don't schedule a live. I like to let you all know. I think I'm just going to put it as an event, and then I'll come on live. So because that seemed to be my problem this morning. So I had to reboot the whole computer and restart, rename the stream code. And anyway, hi guys. I hope everyone's doing great. Sorry the second week in a row I'm late. At least this time it's only by like 5-7 minutes, so that's good. So if you're there, just give me a shout out. Hi. I hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to make a fall card, and I'm in love with this suite. I'm in love with these colors. Fall is probably my second favorite season. I really like spring, but then again, I love fall. But, you know, summer is not my favorite. Summer is just hot. I would rather be cold. That would just be my choice. You can put more clothes on, but you can only be so naked. When you're naked, you're naked. And if you're hot and you're naked, you're just still hot. So if you're cold, you can put more clothes on, bundle up, make a fire. You can get warm. You can't cool down unless you're going to get in a bucket of ice. So, and I don't like ice. It's because I don't like to be cold. But it's okay. I'll put more clothes on. So anyway, I am in my long sleeves for a change. I have some jeans on, which is weird for me. I never wear jeans. And I have the heater going here. It was 44 degrees this morning here in North Carolina. And yay! So I'm hoping everything works well. And if you're here, leave me a comment. I'm going to actually get my phone and put the video on so I can see it. Let's see. Give me a second here. I've got so much stuff going on with the computers. They're like not happy. So I'm waiting to see if it's got my Facebook Live up. Here we go. I just want to be able to have it up so I can see your comments. There we go. There. Now I can see your comments. So if you're here, please tell me hello. A lot of people were probably waiting for that link to go. That didn't work out. It went on and it went off, and yeah, I'm not a fan. I've scheduled 2 lives now in a row and they've not worked. So we're not going to do that again. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the card. I'm going to flip you over. Let me take you off of my ugly mug. There you go. And now you can see what we're going to do. This is the card we're going to do. My hostess code for today is the last day of this hostess code. It is T like Tom, Sam, or S like Sam, K like Kitten, H like Harry, P like Paul, R like Richard. So that's the hostess code for today is the last day for that one. And if you order something today, I will send you a happy with a $35 purchase. I believe the happy this month is ribbons. It'll either be Pretty Peacock or Dapper Denim ribbon. The next month is a hostess or a mystery giveaway. So I'll give away something, and I don't know what it will be yet because some things have been back ordered. So I can't promise what it's going to be. So with that, I don't want to promise something that I can't get. So it'll be a mystery, and you will get a happy of some sort for a $35 purchase. Anything over $75, you will also get a card kit along with that happy. And then anything over, let's see, 75 gets a card kit. Anything over 100, no, 75, and then anything over 150, you get all of it, plus you get the rewards that you'll get as long as you use your own hostess code. So what we're going to do today is this card right here. I've done it with the Forever Fern stamp set. And our measurements are going to be, we're going to need Very Vanilla, and it is 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5, and it's a thick whisper or thick Very Vanilla cardstock. And then we're going to use a bit of Cajun Craze, and it's this one here, and it is 4 1/4 by 5.5. And then we're going to use Basic Black, 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Then we're going to use a piece of In Good Taste DSP. I'm using this wood one. There's several wood shades that would work, but this is the one I used because I like the darker one for this particular card. And it is 4 3/4 by 3.5. And then we have enough Very Vanilla for the cardstock. of all of our stamped images, which are leaves and the little cotton things from the Forever Fern stamp set. I also have some gold of the brushed metallic cardstock. I've done 3 of these and a couple of these other little guys here that you can see in gold. Now in this card, I did them in a different dye, and I also have some copper tucked away here in the back that you can see. And then we're also going to use our what is it called? Basket weave combo pack. This is what comes in the combo pack. This is the mint macaron, and this is like a coppery metallic, which is really pretty. You could probably use the metallic if you want, but I used this one, and then I added a retired bit of Cajun Craze twine to it. So those are the ribbons we're going to be using. Our colors are mint macaron, Cajun Craze, crumb cake, and early espresso. Those are the ink colors we're using today. We'll only be inking the inside of the card because I've already done all of the inking for you. I also picked out some of the gilded to add a little touch of extra to it if we decided we needed that. I see hi Sherry, you're slightly late. That's okay, I was slightly late too. Apparently my computer doesn't like having it scheduled live. I also, in this card, we're going to be using the tin tile textured embossing folder, and we're going to be using this fern set. I like this fern set. I didn't think I'd like it. I didn't order it. It was one of the pre-order things at the on stage, and I decided that, well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get it because it can do a lot of cool stuff. So we're going to be using this, and it comes with all of these dies in here. These 2 do not have stamps that go with it, but that's all right because I've used them for many things. And then this is the die I did use the first one, and then I changed it to this one. This one's kind of cool because you can cut it in 2 to make it more color if you wanted to in this particular card. So what I do like in this set that they gave you 4 of these little guys, and they gave you 2 of these, which match one of the stamps. So you could actually stamp several of the same item without having to stamp, cut, stamp, cut, stamp, cut. So, you know, that can be a pain in the tushy. All right, well, we've done with most of this. We'll do a little stamping after we assemble our card. So that way we can stamp the inside of the card because I'm really bad about forgetting to do that. I'm also using, this is the second circle off of our circle layer dies, just to give me a little guide as to where my leaves need to go. We're also using some Versamark, and I have gold embossing powder. Now in my card earlier, I did copper and gold because I had copper inside the wreath as well. So that's our supplies. So let's get to doing this and seeing how beautiful we can make it. All right, we're going to first we're going to start with our crumb cake, which is again 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let me move this out of my way. I don't want to have it spilled everywhere because there's lots of little pieces in it. We're going to take and we're going to emboss this particular piece with our tin tile embossing folder. Now what I've done for this is I've made sure which side I want, and which is usually the side with Stampin' Up on it. And I'm going to just lay this in here. No particular rhyme or reason as to where. Kind of would like it to be straight, so I'm going to use the guide here to make sure it's straight. So we're straight here. And then I'm going to lay it down so that I know where it is there is straight. And I'm going to put some Versamark on this embossing folder on the top. And I'm just going to rub it on here. I'm not particular with where I'm going. I don't even need the whole thing covered. I just want a little bit of that Versamark to stay and work so I can put some copper on this image. So then we're going to take our embossing machine. Now, some of you have the new one. Some of you don't have a Stampin' Up one at all. I'm all about whatever works for you because I am not going to go buy the new one right now. I have 2 of these and I'm not doing classes anymore, so there's absolutely no reason for me to go buy another one at this point. Those who follow me know I'm not about let's spend more money for things that we already have that might do what we need them to do. Let's see how deep it went in there. All right, we're going to take that out. And let me move this embossing machine. We won't need that again unless we have to cut something else out. So I need this, and I'm going to move our card over here. And I'm going to make sure we have this. I don't see anything really on the tops. So I'm just putting a little extra on there. And I'm going to take my embossing powder. This is gold, remember. I have it on top of one of the back of our sheets because they're usually really easy to pour them back. Now, I'm not going to pour everywhere. I'm just going to kind of dribble it around, and I'm kind of paying attention to the outsides because most of your insides are going to be covered. And then we're going to heat this up a little more over here. And I'm just going to pat that off just so you see you've got a little bit of color there. You still see the color, you've got the copper. All right. Now, put this all back down here, and we're going to put it all right back in the little bitty container. Now, it doesn't get all of it perfectly, but it's okay. And cover this back up. Now, we're going to heat this up. And so, pardon the noise. Here it goes. Here we go. Pepper. And you just want to make sure you get all of this embossing powder heated and set. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but just making sure I get all this set on here. I just think it looks so cool. It goes and it melts and it turns to like magic. All right, I think we have it all colored and all heat. Let's put it right here. Okay, that's just the Versamark. And you see with the Versamark, it gave it, like in this corner, you can see tones of the Versamark. You see the darker color of the Cajun Craze. That's the Versamark giving it other colors. Now, what I have done, I have taken the dark StazOn that we sell with Stampin' Up. You can use black as well. And I have taken this, and just to give it that distressed old world look, and I've literally just kind of scrubbed this over these embossing pieces. Now, I know Miss Sherry doesn't like all this textured, detailed stuff. She tells me that every class we have. And that's all right. I don't mind. Oh, I lost all of my notifications. I can't see the comments anymore. Oh, no. I don't know where they went. Let's see. Oh, well. My pages. Stampin' the heart. Trying to find the my phone. There it is. Okay. There we go. Good. Now we still have people watching. So again, if you're here, comment, share away. If you like it, subscribe to my YouTube channel because this will be posted to the YouTube channel later, so you won't miss out. If there's a day that you can't watch and you don't want to try to find it on the Facebook page, you'll be able to find it on the YouTube page, and it'll tell you when it's loaded. All right, now we've got some, this is a little darker color than we sell with Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up sells like a hair lighter. I can't remember the name of it, but this is Timber Brown, and we have just a lighter shade. But I have done this. You can do this with Stays On Black or with the brown. Either one will work for this card. Now, this is going to look really weird. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and just mess this up. Just really kind of rough up. If you have a distressing tool, you can use that as well. I'm just going to kind of give it some distress looks to it. And of course you can see I'm making a mess here on my table, but that's all right. And if I'm shaking it, I'm truly sorry. And then I'm going to literally just crush it. Pull it back out so it looks nice, worn, and a little messed up. And then if you get it worn enough here on the edges, you'll be able to actually, I want the little ripped look, like it's tearing apart an old, there we go, an old weathered piece of paper. And I'm going to crush that up a bit, just make it look nice and torn. This one's starting to do it too, but not on the corner. See, it's already tearing there. So try to do over here too. All right, here we go, a little torn there. And if you wanted to, with these little torn edges, you could come back and add some more color to it. Just add a little bit more of that Stays On. And I know Miss Sherry's not crazy about adding all these different layers of colors. But that's all right. She doesn't have to do that. She could leave hers plain and nice and pretty and a little gold on that embossed tile. I did the tile because it just reminds me of Manola. And, you know, I miss Manola peeps. I miss Manola home. I just miss Manola. So it is what it is. All right. Now, next thing we're going to do now that we have our background piece done, we're going to adhere these two pieces. This is just a slightly larger piece of basic black to go around our DSP here. And I'm doing this so that it makes our DSP a little thicker and can hold all of those flowers. Now I'm going to use scrappy glue today. I found out the other day that my aqua glue that I've been using, I don't usually use a lot of it, but I did do it with this card, and you can see where it wrinkled up my paper right here. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but also at the same time, I don't really want my paper wrinkled and ripping and coming apart. So I'm going to use just little bits of my scrappy glue, if my scrappy glue will come out. Let's see, that's the one bad thing about scrappy glue, is it gets clogged so easily that it's almost ridiculous. That's why I've been using the Tombow, and well, I couldn't find the regular Tombow because it's been sold out everywhere. So I guess that's what happens when you have a great glue. And scrappy glue is hard to find too. So, all right, we have just a little bit of scrappy glue on here, and we're just going to layer it right here, right on top. And there we go. Now, what I've done to make sure I get my wreath centered is I've taken my circle punch, and I've actually just taken a pencil, and I've made the circle around with my pencil. So I'm going to hold it down and take my pencil. And note, your pencil markers can be erased. And it also doesn't really matter because your leaves, and you can barely see it because it's so dark and it's just a pencil. It's about the same color. But if you look closely, you can see my circle. It just gives me a guide. That's all I'm looking for, is a guide. Now, I have a ton of little parts that I have already cut out of our leaves. I have cut out every shade in 3 different leaves, except this one I cut out like 4 or 5 of those. So we've got early espresso here, crumb cake, and then the mint macaron. And as you can see in this one, that's what I have. They're just different leaves. And we're just going to arrange these to sit the way we like them. And I'm going to try to, it's pretty interesting to get these done. So you're just going to alternate. I'm going to lay them on alternating leaves and colors. So now that I've done that, I want to go back to the brown, but I don't have another one of those. So we're going to just go with a different one. There we go. And we'll go back to green, and we could do this green. And now the big ones, these, they will just kind of morph into a cool shape, I promise. And then here, and then we back to the brown, this, and then the green, and then this one's going to go back underneath. So see how it looks kind of wonky there? Yeah, that's why we have to be careful how we're going to do it. Now I'm going to actually pull them all off again, and I'm going to start with some glue. So we're going to start with the brown. And I'm only putting it, if you see here on the edges, so that I can manipulate these and move them around the way. And I'm trying to pay attention to where my center line is on this circle. Okay, and I'm going to come this way. So I kind of want that to stay towards the inside. Yeah. Okay, then we're going to go down. How do we do that? And we're just going to go from the bottom, and we're going to layer on top. And I'm trying to make sure I cover this little stem, but have no fear, since we're just doing these bottoms, these are going to come back in here and stick in the middles where we need spaces. Plus we have our gold pieces to stick in. So don't worry, it's going to be okay. It'll look just fine. I know at first I was like, oh, well, there's too many spaces. It's not going to look right. Well, yeah, it did. It looked fine. I was pretty actually pleased with how it came out. I am just trying to make sure that when I put these in, I still get to see bits of each of my pieces that I put down. So that's all we're going to do, and we're going to follow our circle. Now you could actually take and stamp these if you wanted to use your stamp apparatus, but I like having the white around it to show a little different. So you can see it better. I mean, I just think it looks much better having the very vanilla stamped with the images stamped on that. So this one I kind of want to move down a little bit. I do want to move this way. There we go. Because you know we're going around. So there. So these are the same, and they're going to both be kind of out, which is okay. I'm going to take this one, put a little more glue. This one's really simple to do. It looks extraordinarily difficult and busy, but it's really not that hard. And see, we've got this little stem here. We can move it a little bit. We can move it up. We can cover it when we put our other pieces in with some copper, some gold, whatever you want to do there. Actually, I'm going to move this one up just a little bit. There we go. This one in. And then we still have our ribbon that's going to go on, so it will cover some of this as well. And see, these leaves just covered that up nicely. So what have you guys been doing? How's everybody going with this cover? You ready for fall? Have you all had fall weather? We're starting to finally enjoy some fall weather. It's been nice. There we go. Now one more and we're golden. And making sure I get those edges. And then I'm going to come right in here and tuck this in. There we go. Now we're just a matter of putting these in where we like them. And then I will add some gold pieces to it. I tend to like them here, break up that brown. It's a lot of brown to be side by side, but that's okay. And I'll probably put most of these that way to break up that brown a little bit. They can come in, they can come out. Let's go in a little bit on this one. Here we go. And I do have extras of these because we could put these inside instead of stamping on the inside, but that's really up to you. Hi, Lynn. How are you doing? Haven't heard from you in a while. Hope everything's well. And then I'm going to stick this one in here. Make them go out a little bit. There we go. All right. I think that's enough of those. Let's figure out where we're going to put these. And I don't know if I want to do all of these. Maybe here. Let's see. I think I'm going to cut these in half. Let's see. So we'll just pop a little of this in here, let a little gold come through. There we go. And that means I don't have to use so many of these. And let's see, this one went between here. Put it out here so you can actually kind of see it layering there in the middle. Need one more of those. I have several of these cut up. And remember, if you don't put some somewhere, that's okay. We've got the ribbon to put on still. There we go. And I still have all these little bitty ones to put on, but I'm going to wait to put those on until I actually have my ribbon on. Now, I don't know if you guys have a bow maker or not. I'm looking for mine. It's usually on my desk, and it's not sitting up here at the moment. Yes, it is. It is sitting on my desk right there. All right, bow maker. So I'm going to take this basket weave ribbon that we have. See that? It's really pretty. I like this one. I've been using it a lot. Of course, I love these colors together. These colors are just fabulous. And I'm making sure I get enough so I can wrap it around here and tie it off. My friend Tanya, her husband made me this when I was down in NOLA. And I'm still using it, Tanya. All right, there we go. We have a cute little bow. Actually, my bow there was a little bit bigger, so let's take this apart and make it bigger. I don't know what you think. Bigger. Here's the other card. A little bit bigger of a bow, or yeah, I need it bigger because I'm going to put the other bow on top. And the bow maker is definitely a lifesaver, Miss Marionette. It totally is. Especially, I can usually do a decent bow, but sometimes that's just not happening. Let's see. But then I always have to try to remember how to use it. All right, let's tie this pretty little bow. Not such a little bow, but you know, it's still a pretty bow, especially with these colors. All right, we've got this bow. Trim it up. All right, here we go. And we're going to figure out where we want to put our bow. I think I'm going to go right here. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to put the bows on with glue dots. I use the Zots because they're a little bit bigger than the ones we get from Stampin' Up. And if I'm using the ones from Stampin' Up, I need about a dozen of them. I don't want to use a dozen of them, so I'm going to use my Zots. And I'm going to take this and peel it off, stick it on the back of my bow. And sometimes I use two. Most of the time I don't need to. These suckers really stick. So we're just going to stick this right here in the middle. And let some of this gold on this kind of hook up. Now I used, no, this is not the card that I did that. Sometimes I put little dots on these to keep my little bow ends down. All right, we've got that one. Now I'm going to use this retired, I don't know if you can see, it's crumb cake twine that I have. And I'm going to go to the smaller bow size, and we're going to wrap this around several different times. You could use any other color you wanted to, but I'm trying to use up some of my retired stuff. It needs love too, and it tends to get thrown on the wayside by the end of the year because, you know, fall is over. That's 3. And then I'm going to tie it up nice and tight, pull her off, clip that, and then to get an extra ribbon or an extra piece of tails, I will take a tail and tie it around this. I know that sounds weird, but it does work. Go to the center and tie it off. There we go. So that gives me several bits. Now I'm going to get this stuck up here, and then I'll trim it off. Trying to make sure we've got them all out. And this one I could probably use the little dots from Stampin' Up. They would work out really well because they're not so big. These dots are pretty big. So I mean, you could actually just roll them up if you wanted to. If you see, can you see how big that is? It's a big, big, big guy. So I'm gonna roll this sucker up with my pick tool so it stays on there. I'm gonna put it straight to my bow down here and stick this on. There we go. And then you can trim these out to be however long you want. All right, we've got those on. Now we could just go in and fill in our little bitty tiny gold pieces here. And I might just lay them anywhere on there just so we look like we have a little bit of extra. And I have 3 extras of those. One more, where to go? Here it is. It's so hard to see on all this pretty paper. I'll make sure I get some glue on there and I can't see it. All right, I'm gonna just stick this one up in here. There we go. All right. Now we're gonna take this and put it right on top of this piece here. I know it looks kind of bad. You could cock it to the side so you see more, which is what I've done. Or you could leave it straight on, but I have this coppery, torn up, worn up looking little piece of paper. So I'm actually going to use a little bit of glue and some tape runner for this because I want it to give me a little room to wiggle room so I can move it around a bit, but I also want it to stay in place. So I'm going to do a little of both. Then I know it's not coming off. If it's okay, if it does not lay flat or if it's still wrinkled underneath, because it'll actually then give you a white trim on your Whisper White cardstock. Not Whisper White, your very vanilla cardstock. Then we've got our very vanilla, and it just goes on top like this, so you can still see some of that very vanilla. Thank you, Marionette. All right, I'm going to actually stamp, before I put this on top, I'm going to stamp a few images on the inside, or we could just take some of these extra pieces, place these together like this, just put them inside, which is probably what I'll do. And you could stamp extra, you could do whatever you wanted to do on the inside. I would also suggest taking your, oops, it's a little too much glue, taking your embossing folder and embossing the flap, which would make it really, really pretty. And this is going to be pretty glued. There's a lot of glue on that, so I'm not going to close it right away. So I'm going to do it this way to put this on. And we're going to put a little glue here, and we're going to stick her down and make sure it's good to go. I don't want to put a lot of glue on the edges because I want those edges to stay a little ruffled. And like I said, it's okay if you see the very vanilla on the outside. And I did not put a sentiment on this. I didn't think it needed one. It's very stunning the way it is. You could put a banner across here with just a sentiment like Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Fall, y'all. That's what most of my cards have been saying lately because, you know, I'm from the South and everything is y'all. I don't know how to not speak Southern. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it today. This is the other one. This is my original. This is the sample that we made today. I hope you all had fun with me and that you will come back next week. Put my ugly mug back on. Come back with me next week, again, every Wednesday, and I promise this time I won't schedule it so that Facebook will actually work, and I won't have to reboot everything before I do it. Again, if you want to purchase something, this is the hostess code, which you can't see. We have the hostess code. Today is the last day. Also, if you want to join up, we have today is being the last day to sign up to be a demonstrator. And you get 2 free stamp sets and an entire set of cardstock to make 16 cards. So, and you pay $99 and you get $125 for the product plus those free stamp sets. I have the information on my blog if you're interested. This month's happy for $35 purchases are either Dapper Denim ribbon or Pretty Peacock ribbon. Next month it will be a mystery. You won't know what you're going to get, but you will get a happy. So, I will see you guys next week. Have a great day and enjoy the fall cool weather. Bye.